Thank you all very, very much for the kind reception. And I wish to begin by acknowledging the next President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Speaker of Parliament, the Chairman of our beloved party, and Naana too, and go on to recognize Our Lady, the Sign Language interpreter, and all of us who are here. And I want to acknowledge especially those who are outside. If they can hear me, I want them to know how much we appreciate them. They don't have the comfort of a seat, but they have kept faith, and that is NDC. We keep faith with our party. So I greet all of us who are here and those who are not able to join us. We often describe constitutions as living documents, and manifestos serve as blueprints for progressive policies and democratic development. While dynamic audiences such as these remind us all about the importance of people-centered projects. It is no coincidence, therefore, that we have met in Winneba, and this city has long been recognized as a center for development in education, culture, and vision. In Tebusiafo mo nyina akwaba. Modawana say da wadawa wodom NDC. Oma party no mo edawa mo bia por baka ho. Yes obi ambra ye jobia yeyim. So we have heard the manifesto, and many of our speakers have come before me, and I want to recognize each of them. And the manifesto is a culmination of many town hall meetings, community engagements held across the country and led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And therefore, when we call it the People's Manifesto, or that we are resetting Ghana, this is not a decision a few of us have made indoors. This is our collective responsibility and our collective strategy, having come to the collective realization that we need to move in another direction. So, I also want to recognize Professor Danso Boafo, the chair of all the efforts. I've never seen anyone so patient, so focused, so determined. Prof, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate all the work, all the sacrifices, all the tolerance that you have put in order to bring us here today. And of course, all the members too. And again, to all those who made Association Loop and Abidjan Close their second and third homes, I want to say ayuko to all of you. It has been a long walk, but we have arrived at the right destination. So we are not complaining. Actually, we are just happy. So, this launch today is the result of a visionary initiative commissioned by His Excellency Mahama some 4 years ago, and it has sustained us in the policy direction through its incubation right to its evolution and the launch today. With foresight, His Excellency asked for the beginning of crafting of what might someday become a manifesto. And even if it didn't, it would have been the collection of thoughts, the collection of strategies that we might hand over to another group. And since it's all within the party, there was no problem. So, over the past 4 years, we have engaged in countless discussions, debates. We have come to agreements and compromises and refined many drafts and revisions to bring this document to life. We came from the party, but also from stakeholder organizations, civil society, many other concerned groups, anyone who wished to be part of the drive to change things for the better. Therefore, we have included input from private citizens because that is also very important. As a party, we have a proud tradition of listening to diverse perspectives. As is often said here in the Central Region, those standing behind us have the clearest view of whether the path we are laying is straight or not. This philosophy has resulted in what is being launched today, which is truly a collective document shaped by contributions from Ghanaians from all walks of life, regardless. So, what we are proposing, in collaboration with Ghanaians at home and across the globe, is what it is that has been elaborately conveyed by His Excellency and a couple of persons. I wish to begin with education. The NDC remains unwavering in its commitment to quality and accessible education for all Ghanaian children, from kindergarten through senior high school to the university and beyond. Education is a bedrock of national development, and we are determined to ensure that every child, no matter their background, has access to a conducive learning environment. To achieve this, we will prioritize personnel quality, provision of infrastructure and learning material, and especially the relevance of what the learners are acquiring towards our future development. And we will pay particular attention to our schools in the rural areas and in deprived areas. Having said that, what I'm trying to say is that the education goes beyond the infrastructure. Although that is basic, it is fundamental. It ought to have been there, but it has not been. And that is why we pay attention to it. And we also pay attention to the quality of the facilitators of the whole learning process. And that explains why we keep raising the quality of teacher preparation and teacher training. Vocational and technical education is a very important area of focus. With approximately 70% of our population under the age of 30 and 50% under the age of 18, it is imperative that we prepare our youth for the job market. And I would like to plead here that we look at our semantics again. If somebody went to the vocational school, it is because he is so endowed to go there. It is not so much because he couldn't. We need to tone down language so that the students will feel appreciated and will feel encouraged and will know that we appreciate them also for the talent that God has given them. We know without them, all the value addition and so on may elude us. Our manifesto also emphasizes digital literacy, and I think my boss has spoken at length on that. But our vision is very clear. We want and will support an education system that prepares every Ghanaian child for a bright future, and a child who is rooted in their global knowledge through our rich cultural legacy. We consider this to be very, very important. And therefore, all the things that have been spoken about in education support this philosophical underpinning. Now, let me highlight our women. We recognize the role of women, and Shamima, thanks for emphasizing all of it. It's very, very important, and we agree with you. But distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you also know in this country where we stand as women. In fact, before I go on, Where are the women here? If you don't mind, I would like all the women to stand just for a moment. Actually, we've been sitting for too long, so it's okay. And I want all of you to clap in appreciation. I want you all to clap in appreciation for what the NDC and for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has done for us. By bringing one of us into the public light, he has brought all of us. Thank you very much. You may sit down. So, H.E., we want to thank you very, very much. And you know, as women, we have all kinds of peculiar problems that only we know, that only we experience. He already talked about how our bodies naturally function and how that can even stop us from moving forward. It is not by accident that when you look at enrollment from P1 to P3, it's almost stable. But you look at P3 to P6, the drop comes after P6. And you ask yourself, why is this happening? And now we know why. And so we made a bold step to ensure that girls can also go to school, stay in school, move up as high as they can, and realize the potential in them. And of course, our bodies didn't just start functioning that way. It's just been who we are. We also know our economic challenges more than others. And what are some of them? For all kinds of reasons, we are not able to stay in school. And that is something we are going to work on aggressively, to remove all the bottlenecks, to remove all the obstacles that prevent girls from moving up. But meanwhile, a lot of us are up there already, and we may have missed a few things. So what happens? It is not by accident again that in this country, many, many women are in the small-scale businesses. Na yenso ni enyim faso no. Ana mboa. Mesiafo no wa ha. Aze na yeton, ana yenton aze. Yeton aze. Enye jeti kasibia po na yehwehwe. Na yekohe. Yankọ yem papa ho a, yebokọ nana ni fie. Yankọ nana ni fie nde MP sikra no wenwu amenze. Wo MP, de bebia na erikọ ni fie. Ana ebokọ wo fa ni fie, ana mboa. Ana ebokọ ba benyi ni fie. Densi na nkọ ba besia no. O se ni nyimde onyi bi. Densi na onyi bi. Enwa, inum ye nsama yerebisa. So what's the solution to all of this? Or we'll go and borrow. Which bank? The bank will say, bring a collateral. What is it? The papers to your car. Na car na ye will be a. Truck ne fampo wa ya sam. And then stood up for what done the papers bra. What mo te ebusuan fie. I don't know one could take a far ebusuan na krate na ezekwa da zekaje bosia. Nso oche the bank na yenta ye nkwo ho. Nso ye hia mboa. So then what do? We go to somebody who will lend us money. Yes, he will lend us the money, but the interest on that money is not even what we are seeing as 40% from the banks. Sometimes 100 or more. Ebusha for mboa. Say you da mamanze. Inte fi ya baya dan. Ena yako bank onyeye. Ena yako bobosia osun. Inte ya baya dan. Inte here abana otimesi afase. Here political party a obu mesiafo. Na party onye ma ohe. Onye National Democratic Congress. Nenya president so obu mesiafo. Oti mesiafo wonsu. Ibiko onye wana. Onye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Na wakanye nyina ye ntira bom. Na wakade nti ya baya dan. Nti ye pede eta akwa ye papa ho. Eta akwa ho po a ho ayebufu ana amaboa. Obaka ho za akiro. Na de bebi arabaze oto na aza na wa agbaka. Na enya he na epede ye boka wo. Asam na mo tinyin. Nti yes okay sadamza abane hwehwe he ye bank mahin. Ye pia bank o te he na ase. Ye mpia bank obaka da ye nkafa collateral mbra ye nyibi. Ye mpia bank obaka da ye nkafa ye ka no hu papers mbra. He na asase kakrakan he na ejapa ye nyibi. Nti wasi yo wati wo be hindered. It is what kada ye Women's Development Banker. osi asamdo enya asamdo nkote enye de yenye sika nto na azo oye nsem bi otum sisi wo henda abrabom ebi wo hopo a nya wo pie nso na beebi akwa kegina no mo da yenye ebusu afase ma meke wotase pa ana wotase wotase pa ibisu wo ho a akobo ne bosian akwacha ko na kwato collection obako ho za achiro into amaka nso akwato collection ana amaboa obafa nwem o utokrati wanyem da wa no yero kasa no abaraba endemijina wa bu yechi mo be yebopu e yebohwe ezena kaw insi Women's Development Bank no or the sikano monda bosia isi hu wo ho a or the phone boko onye wa ye nhihye papa oba more advisory services oba guide oba mental no danda no obodo baby no na mfaso ebenya na ehu a o sanda mfaso no so chen isi hu na erekotua no ebotum disika ne bi eza hye wazu tonim obodo baby na wo capital no retraw ana na business no orinyin na wo faso no na so margin na ndo de eke da wo fa ne papa no ho na so kwa ma wo haircut nti onyaze ebotum ya kokohopi nti Women's Development Bank no orba. It is here to empower female entrepreneurs and small business owners by providing low-interest loans, financial education, and sustainable support. These initiatives will create job opportunities and break down the financial barriers that many women face when starting and sustaining business. So business so ehu anya ni enjuma dosu anambwa emesiafu onjinze de enjuma dosu se ye kofie nti asama America emenyimfu na aja atuma ma dentra o send on wan sokra won ko nmurubu anamboa se ye badodo nti se ana ya atu do no so aye free ana nti menyimfu no account menyimfu no won bon se me mesiafu oh, so most babies have no Sunday. The Mazio Baba Bob woman. So this initiative comes as no surprise to some of us, because we have been long aware of NDC's long-standing commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment as essential pillars of national progress. And we know what our predecessors in the PNDC to the December Women's Movement and all did. It is also not surprising that it is NDC that pays attention to markets. We have heard of KJT, even if you haven't gone there. We have heard of Kotokraba and so many other markets. And sometimes you are driving or walking by, and the women who are converting our raw material, adding value, are the ones sitting under some shed. The floor not even cemented, no washroom, nothing for their children. And in the end you ask, so who buys the material and at what cost? So they need help in this area too. And you know, America today, say begoya once a can one pose when you dado. Mankesim, my tonazo or mankesim, what's the can? And I was in come. Makola, oh no, yemi. Hello, no, baby. Also, the cajon. Na maybe see a phone, maybe one summer wa a gomino, wa market. Mankania won't find them. The banky lanya. Also, bank a cajon. I don't want them. Into Obia cajon, Obiara baby, as some of your canyon. Ye reason about employment, I am by 1 year to me. Honest boss, I can if 24-hour economy, Obia Jatu. No one may bones some may use him. 1 million bones some of my am, but the power so 133. As I don't know to phone boko. Share a pede quick and you use in your Jumata. I will from one. Jiwanutum or what's the washa ebida, sending in our attention. Jiwanutum, as I some no you. Ebusuafo yɛ dan obodwuru wɔdze wɔn adwene baba na adwene no so obɛyɛ adwuma nti ɛda ho na nti 24-hour economy no menka ho asam osande Yenra, Wabakawa Sempi, me nyina nso ya atase. No, mpede maka healthcare kakra. Ehun ya na apomudem na numu hawo ono so ya atipi na dama na ote da hen mesi afoso dama wa abo hen no eye hen so ye wo ye nzem ote. Inti se bibi dam na ze chase compound na abian hen. Eye na ye mo from ato hen na akoko anofa kesa ahomache ne ze wona akọ hospital. Sister sembo a Into the mina bibi bianawa. It's a wanzame pee or her warrior. Nessa or friend and a sa. I see as the angel Kakrabakanwa. And I did ways move. Announce them. Into baby or mancado have mercy a phone call. No way, and maybe was a chuchua baby. Sister. What's a cocoa winim? Cocoa winim. Nefes when you are the Mariano or the obiso or otnaye. Eye monhu area mobi no ho na nhirado owo ntebusu afonda ya atinifi ya beda obia wa abakasa wa ha obia wa abakire na adwen oho na wa aba oho na wa aboa no oho na wote na dem yes ye da ho na se. So this manifesto is not a set of attractive or empty promises. It is a roadmap to a better future for every Ghanaian. It is also our social democratic blueprint for building the Ghana we all want together. Together, for say atase, obia so na hozen, obia ni nyimzi, obia nember, obia na zeka ho, ni yetumi ye pia ye ho, ye za akwenyim. Nso onye do president na nko no any problem, onye no problem. Oye he nyina ye problem. Na muwenyi dadodo obia so baba wa baye mobotum na ya asesa bebi ayete ya asesa he na busua ya asesa nzemepi na oma no afane ntempa wefra nti damna na ocha debra party ne etoma every party na ote he na ase every party na oba oye mpuntudwuma yanto abanje hwe yeto aba de mpuntudwuma embra. Yes, development is our goal. Anna, into the minting yaba, Yanda, Dana, Kushina, Slang Sibina, but the slogan on for Quenim, in your Nintina Yaba, Yaba, we are confident in the victory ahead. And the NDC has a good track record as well as a renewed vision. We are motivated by confidence in our skills and the goodwill of our fellow citizens. Progress is within our reach and the reach of every Ghanaian, regardless your age, religion, whatever that differentiates you. And we are here to present something very, very meaningful to reset Ghana. It's going to be hard work, but you and I know that by the grace of God, we will get there. So to vote for the NDC is to put your trust in the statement that Ghana can get better. Thank you very much.